The Po Delta is a rich environment full of charm and appeal. It is an as yet unopened treasure trove. In this film, we would like to present you with a few picture postcards from this marvellous destination. Little pieces of paradise painted like a mosaic on the strips of land surrounded by water. That is how the Po Delta appears to our eyes. A territory which is still as little known as it is fascinating. A sincere thank you goes to the Po Delta Tourist Operators Association, who have made it possible for us to explore one of Italy's most beautiful areas, of which we can be proud. Along this journey, you will meet some of these tourist operators, who, with their passion and skill, help make a holiday on the Po a memory to carry forever in your heart. Along its path, the great river divides and branches out, creating meanders, lagoons, islands, and long green plains. The Po Delta has the spectacular charm created by the mixture of land and water, both fresh and salt, dunes, banks, and valleys, which spawn a truly extraordinary fauna. The current Po Delta is divided into 6 branches. At Santa Maria in Punta, the Po de Goro, at Volta Grimana, the Po de Levante, which is navigable also by large vessels. At Ca Vendramina, the Po de Niocca, with its luxurious poplars, willows and acacias. At Ca Pisani, the Po de Maestra, cradle of the marvellous valleys which run along it. At Tolle, as we approach the sea, the river splits into 2, the Po de Tolle and Po de Pila forming the large island of Camerini. Porto Levante Marina is the tourist port of Porto Levante. We are joined by Paolo Comuniana, the director of this dock, which is one of the starting points for a visit to the Po Delta. Isn't that right?
Yes, here we are at Porto Levante, a small district of Porto Viro. The port was developed 2 years ago and now it's almost finished. We can offer moorings for boats and car parking. There's also a bar and a restaurant due to open soon. People set off from here during the summer, mainly heading for Croatia or Chioggia, which is very close too, as is Venice. But above all, this is a fishing area, both deep-sea fishing and sardines, anchovies, etc.
Fascinating places to visit, especially by water, on board a motorboat between the sandbanks and lagoons. Or experience the excitement of fishing for mackerel and sheepfish, guided by the expert fishermen of the Polesine. We are on board the Melissa, which is one of the Polesine navigation vessels. With us is the owner, Flaminio Vianello, who will tell us a bit about the activities on offer alongside the river.
Our itineraries are vast, from the Po Delta to Venice, from the rivers to the sea, with mackerel sea fishing and lunch on board.
For all those who have an innate sense of adventure, we suggest hiring a houseboat to experience an unforgettable holiday with the family or friends, at one with nature, heading for places rich in culture and history.
Houseboat means floating house, boathouse. So the philosophy is that you travel along the river almost like a camper on the road. Anyone can skipper it because it does not require any nautical qualification. We're having a promotional drive to introduce this product to Italians who perhaps go on this kind of holiday in France or Britain, but are unaware that it also exists in Italy.
Those who like their comforts and are a bit less energetic can opt for the tourist village formula. Some of these are really beautiful, blended well into the green landscape, with educational tours of great interest, which make for unforgettable excursions for bird-watching enthusiasts.
So here we are at the Heron Centre, situated 2 kilometers from Porto Levante in the northern delta. Here in the heart of the Po Delta, our visitors come to spend a quiet and pleasant holiday, surrounded by nature. Educational holidays are also available here, as a special environmental education laboratory has been set up inside the residence, thanks to the work coordinated by specialized personnel, offering a chance for both manual tasks and work involving the use of computers and microscopes.
Take all the time you need as we lead you on the discovery of this dreamy and rich land. A delicate balance between land and water. We can choose either a bicycle or horse for our journey in this area of great natural interest. We are along the Via delle Valli near the Porto Levante. We are joined by Sandro Vidali, who is one of the guides in the Delta Regional Park. Sandro, what nature visiting facilities does this area offer?
The chance for visiting the natural beauties of the Po Delta are extremely varied and are mainly linked to motorboat excursions. But it's a location that can be visited equally well on horseback, on foot, by canoe, or any other slow method, because that's the best way to visit the Po, without hurrying, without stress, and above all in harmony with the water. It's Italy's youngest land. First of all, a land formed by the gentle progression of the river, which has carried its debris load and has gradually lengthened the Padanian plain, creating areas which are extremely interesting from a nature point of view, like the fishing valleys and the lagoons, which host some real ornithological rarities, such as flamingos, stilts, spoonbills, avocets, sea swallows, all types of heron, and an infinite number of ducks.
The tourist facilities have been built to blend in, and they are ideal for a comfortable stay while exploring the Delta Park. We are at the Hotel Restaurant Gran Delta in Rosalina. With us is the owner, Signor Bruno Casoli, who is going to explain to us why he decided to give his restaurant this particular name.
Well, simply to capitalize on the name of the Delta, the Po Delta, as I believe it to be of immense value, together with the surrounding park, so long as the district and the regional authorities give it the break it needs.
Listen, it'll soon be time for lunch. I'm working up quite an appetite. What does your kitchen have to offer?
Well, we had better go and ask the chef. For the first course, we have bavetti with spider crabs. Our speciality is spaghetti al Gran Delta, with mussels, shrimps, little scallops, squid, and eel in a sauce with polenta.
It's the famous bisato pan-fried with polenta.
Bisato pan-fried with polenta.
Any holiday on the Great Delta would not be complete without exploring inland, towards the county town Rovigo. The origins of the city are still uncertain, but the heart of the residential area grew out of a fortress, of which 2 towers and the surrounding walls can still be seen. It is a city which successfully combines the past and present. Vittorio Emanuele Square is the best starting point for a visit to Rovigo and its beautiful monuments. Among these is without doubt the charming Rotonda, an octagonal-shaped church dedicated to the Blessed Virgin of Mercy, in thanks for saving the city from the plague, which contains 15th century Baroque works of the Venetian school. Interestingly, the church belongs to the Council of Rovigo, and its coat of arms, symbolized by a club, is now the mayor's.
At Rovigo, we have a very special church called the Church of the Rotonda. It's octagonal and truly fantastic. We have 2 towers, and then from here you can continue on to the Delta Park, which we consider the jewel in our crown. In addition, a motor racing circuit has just opened, which is starting to attract people from all over Europe. Furthermore, we're in a strategic location, so that within 70 to 80 kilometers you can travel to Venice, or visit the Palladio villas near Vicenza, or Bologna and Verona. The fact that Rovigo is in such a strategic position, in the sense that it's an hour from Venice, an hour from Bologna, and an hour from Verona, means that you can go on other kinds of days out, not just those centered on the wildlife. But of course, what interests us is that people should have the chance to visit our new tourism. New because, all told, the total number of visitors is so far limited due to the fact that knowledge of the area is still not widespread, either in Italy or at a European level. There are areas which can be visited using small boats operated by highly skilled people who know the flora and fauna, and of course all about the history of the place. There are other more modern areas which are more suited to bicycle and houseboat trips.
Adria is a very fascinating area, which is named after the Adriatic Sea. One of the many riverside towns in this extensive territory, with its concentration of Venetian-style homes, it offers glimpses of real beauty. The local cuisine is also splendid, based on seasonal vegetables and fish. We are in the center of Adria, where we have discovered a real gem. It is the Minuetto restaurant. With us is the owner, Signora Anna Fusaro, who is going to tell us a bit about the origin of this restaurant, which dates back to the 19th century. Is that right?
Yes, it's a house that we bought to use as a home. But as it's so very big, we decided to convert it into a restaurant. Because I've always liked this business, in contact with people and everything. My husband didn't agree, though. But I won. We worked for 2 years to restructure this house because the plasterwork and everything else in here was in sore need of repair. And above all, it required skilled people to carry it out. People call me and say, "Signora, how many stars does your bed and breakfast have?" And I reply, "There are no stars. All you can see is the moon."
Even the smallest villages have their own special character, such as Lusia, with its classic bridge over the canal, the bell tower, and of course a must, the Trattoria. We are in Lusia, only about 10 kilometers from Rovigo. We are joined by Signor Luciano Rizzato, who is the owner of the Trattoria Al Ponte. This restaurant is a place with a rather unusual history. Could you tell us a bit about it, Signor Luciano?
Originally, it was a classic village watering hole where people would meet of an evening to play cards or eat some somorino, tripe, dried salt cod, eels, those dishes which were readily available in this area. The building, as you saw, has been restored. In the 80s, I got married, and we started on this adventure trying to create an eating place which would be traditional, but in tune with the times, reviving our traditional dishes while lightening them a little in our own style.
The produce of the land and the sea have a necessary influence on the eating habits of this area. Fish, vegetables, meat, game, rice and radish provide 1,000 possibilities in the Polesine cuisine. These dishes are simple though full of flavour, a triumph of tradition and the authenticity of our ingredients. These recipes date from another era, but they bear the stamp of modern tastes. Where a river has its mouth, there is of course also the sea. And the sea runs along the coast of the Po Delta and has a wide choice as far as bathing areas are concerned. We will show you Rosalina Mare and Albarella. Despite notable development over the last 30 years, Rosalina Mare has maintained its charming landscape. The real wealth of this small holiday town is its beaches, which are bordered all along their length by a narrow strip of pine forest, among which well-equipped and comfortable facilities have been developed, ideal for free time or sporting activities.
Rosalina Mare is a beach mainly for families. The town centre is very small. The Hotel Sole here behind me, which my family has run since it was built, is right in the centre of Rosalina Mare. But right behind and in front of it is a very green pine forest. The beaches are 300 metres away. It's a quiet area dedicated mainly to families. We're just under an hour from Venice by car and 3/4 of an hour from the motorway exits at Mestre, Padua and Rovigo.
Rosalina Mare has a wide range of accommodation to offer the tourist, composed of many hotels of different categories. Among these are the hotels belonging to our family, which we have run for around 40 years, various campsites. The main feature is the green landscape, the fact that it is a very unusual area because the beach is very large and the sand is very fine. which is ideal for families with children, and also elderly people, and anyone in general who wants peace and quiet and fresh air. Because the air is particularly good, thanks to the pine forest, which is part of our incredible natural heritage.
Rosolina features 12 bathing areas, which are very popular throughout the whole summer season.
Rosolina is blessed with a very large sandy shore, with very fine sand, and therefore plenty of space. It's an ideal beach for children and families, where they can run and play without bothering anyone.
You also mentioned that you have an unusual feature, a special service.
2 years ago, Rosolina started a private medical service organized by all the bathing areas in Rosolina Mare. We have 2 doctors who patrol around the whole coast by motorbike. They can get from one side of the coast to the other in 5 minutes. And on board these motorbikes, they carry all the equipment that an ambulance or other emergency vehicle would carry.
Also in Rosolina, tourist villages have been built with various types of holiday available, which can offer every kind of recreational activity for the modern tourist in search of excitement and relaxation.
As regards what the area has to offer, which is mainly campsites, we have decided to offer our clients residences with all the typical tourist facilities. Entertainments, as you can see, a large pool and children's pool, and a very big park where they can enjoy themselves. To help the parents relax, the children can spend the whole day at the park with our entertainment organisers, so that the parents get a chance to enjoy their holiday. In the evenings, we have after-dinner entertainment until 11 or 11:30 p.m. for young people and their parents. After that, we have a small indoor disco where the young people can party until the early hours.
Albarella Island is another strip of land broken off by the sea, a busy port with vessels of all sizes, which can offer you a holiday in absolute tranquility. Here, the sound of silence is broken only by the branches of the trees and the swooping flight of colonies of seagulls. International standard sports facilities allow you to play golf, tennis, and everything the most discerning tourist could desire. Villas, apartments, and residences offer a wide variety of accommodation options, with the same backdrop, such as the sunsets that herald the end of each day.
The island is 5 kilometers long, 1.5 kilometers wide, and has a series of structures and infrastructures, houses, villas, apartments and hotels, with a total capacity to host about 13,000 people. There are plenty of opportunities for sport and things to do here in Albarella. There is an 18-hole golf course which is 70 hectares long, 25 tennis courts, a horse riding centre with several thoroughbred horses, in addition to sailing, windsurfing and water skiing on a still expanse of filtered, clean salt water, measuring 650,000 square metres. And naturally, we also have a beautiful long beach which stretches for 3 kilometres, with beach umbrellas, sunbeds, etc., with toilets, lifeguards and everything you need. And of course, my advice to anyone coming to Albarella is the first thing you must do is take off your watch and follow the sun.
Allora cosa aspettate?
So, what are you waiting for? Pack your bags, the Po Delta awaits you.